Today we will discuss about another very important subject. This is a question that has been harboring the mind of many people. In fact, almost all the people. This question has been posed to me several times. I am sure everyone would have this question arising in their mind at one point of the time or not in their life. The question is God there? And if so, will He come to save us? Will He come to solve our problems? This is such a fundamental question because if God cannot solve our problems, how does it matter whether He is there or not? For this, today, I will give you 4 episodes on the subject. One episode from Purana, one episode from Mahabharata, one episode from Avatara Rahasya, and another episode which is a real incident that happened some 70 80 years ago. It's a recorded event. The first one from Purana we will take Gajendra Moksha. This Purana all of us will know. Here, an elephant by name Gajendra, who was in his earlier birth, was a king, but was cursed to be born as an elephant. But because of his Purva Janma Smarana, was still continuing to be a great worshipper of Lord Narayana, and he was ruling an elephant kingdom. Every day, he used to go to the river and get a lotus flower to adorn Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu. This he has been doing for several decades. One day, when he went to the river like that, his leg was caught by a crocodile. He tried to wriggle out, but he could not. He put all his energy to somehow wriggle out, but he could not. He shouted on all his elephant herd came there. They tried to wriggle him out. None of them could. Finally, everybody gave it up. Even Gajendra almost gave it up. But his Purva Janma Vasana made him to exclaim, O Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. As he exclaimed, Lord Vishnu appeared there and killed the crocodile with his Chakrayuda. Then Gajendra got relieved from the crocodile and Lord gave him the darshan, and Lord told him his previous life and explained to him that he was destined to get moksha provided he is able to have belief in Narayana. He has displayed it, therefore, he is getting salvation. The second episode we will talk about is from Mahabharata. This episode I have touched upon in another of my lecture in the videos here. In this episode, we know what happened to Draupadi when the Pandavas stupidly lost the game of dice, when she was disrobed, Vastrabharanam. And it is even today, heart will bleed to even think about that scene. Such a noble soul, she was insulted in public in the presence of great people like Bhishma, Drona. Her clothes were robbed by Dushasana. When that was happening, she was crying, crying, and crying. Unfortunately, the mighty Pandavas could not do anything because they were bound by the rules of the game. And she tried with all her might, with her hands, and finally she gave up and threw her hands up and cried, Krishna, Krishna. Then immediately Krishna got into the act and he was continuously supplying the sari, the cloth, and Dushasana could not disrobe her fully, and Dushasana fell unconscious. And Draupadi was saved from the great insult that would have befallen on her. After the Mahabharata was over, that war was over, Draupadi, one day, when they were recalling the major incidents in the Itihasa of Mahabharata, asked Lord Krishna, Krishna, you are supposed to be my brother. I am supposed to be the second side of you. But still, you made me to cry so much. You did not come immediately as soon as they tried to disrupt me. Why? Krishna answered, you just recall what happened on that day. Draupadi said, I was trying to defend myself to the best of my ability. But finally, without having any energy, I threw my hands up. Krishna said, the moment you threw your hands up, did I come or not? She said, yes, you came. But my question is not that. Why did you allow me to suffer so much? Krishna said, until the time you had the confidence on your hands and on your own capacity, how can I interfere? Every person has a free will. They have a right to exercise it. When they are exercising that, nobody can interfere, including God. The moment you surrendered to me, I came and I immediately rescued you. Did I not? Draupadi said, yes. We will now take the third episode. This is from the Avatara Rahasya. Krishna, after the Mahabharata was over, when he was sitting and discussing with the rishis, they were recalling and recounting the important things that happened in the Mahabharata and in the life of Krishna. And one of the rishis asked, Krishna, you showed your Vishwarupa to Arjuna, that too in a battlefield. That too, he was not a rishi. He was your friend, that's all right. But we have been doing tapas for so many decades. Why don't you show us that Vishwarupa? Krishna said that Vishwarupa was shown to him for an avatara ragasya. It was meant for a different purpose. For that, you need to have a divine vision, and all of you can have it. You don't worry. One day you can yourself gain it. But now that you are talking about Avadara Ragasya, I'll tell you some of the important Avatara Ragasyas that I have taken so far. And he started in his expansive mood in telling about the major incidents in every avatara. Because every avatar he has taken for fulfilling a purpose. That is why it is called Avatara Ragasya. So when he was recounting for the purpose of this lecture, what is relevant is his avatar as Lord Narasimha. In Narasimha avatar, we know he took that avatar for the sake of Bhakta Prahalada. Prahalada was the son of Hiranyakashipu, a Rakshasa ruling the earth. Because when Prahalada was in the womb, Narada has taught him the mantra of Om Namo Narayana. From the birth, Prahalada was a great devotee of Narayana. And Narayana is a sworn enemy of Hiranyakashipu. There is a strange thing. Father hates Narayana, the son loves Narayana. The two unconditional love. Hiranyakashipu could not tolerate it. We know the story. But all the kind of injuries he was trying to inflict on Prahalada, despite he being his son. But Prahalada was not worried about any of the injuries, harm, insults that was heaped on him. He was just carrying on. He said, Narayana will take care. And the final climax came. Hiranyakashipu was exasperated. He did not know how to resolve the problem. So at the height of his exasperation, he told Hiranyakashipu, you are saying Narayana, Narayana. Where is he? He is nowhere. You are just foolishly believing him. And he is our sworn enemy. He will not come before me. He will be afraid of me. So why are you trying to waste your time? Narayana is not there. Prahalada said, Narayana is everywhere. Prahalada said, I am Narayana, you are Narayana. Everything here is Narayana. Only thing is, I understand it, you don't understand it. That is the difference. Hiranyakashipu got infuriated. Hiranyakashipu said, how can you make such a statement? Now can you ask him to appear here? Prahalada said, yes, of course. He will appear. You tell where you want him to appear. You choose a place, he will appear. Hiranyakashipu said, here, 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 here. He said, everywhere. You choose a final place. Wherever you want, he will appear. Are you sure about it? Yes, I am very sure about it. Finally, Hiranyakashipu chose one stupi, which is a pillar. He chose a pillar. In this is Narayana there. Hiranyakashipu, without batting an eyelid, said, yes, he is there. Since he has told that Narayana is there, Hiranyakashipu, in order to kill Narayana, hit very hard that pillar. From that pillar emerged Narasimha, and thereafter we know the story how he killed Hiranyakashipu. But the point for discussion here is not that. When Krishna was recalling the Avatara Rahasya, what he said about this episode is very critical. Krishna told the rishis, I know I am there everywhere, but I can't match the belief of Prahalada. So I was myself under tension. I don't know which place this mad Hiranyakashipu will show that I have to appear. And I am not going to appear in my Saumya Rupa. I have to appear in my Gora Rupa for completing my Avatara Rahasya. Therefore, I have to be present everywhere as a Narasimha. So, I was very anxious. He can show, Hiranyakashipu can show a small feather, can show the building, can show one of the person presence there. Or he can even show Prahalada himself. So I have to be present everywhere. So I was fully present everywhere. Whatever he shows, I have to appear. And he chose that pillar and I appeared. But what was surprising to me is the kind of trust, implicit trust that Prahalada had. So before him, I was very small. I was humbled by Prahalada. That is an important recollection of me or a lesson for me from Narasimha Avatar. This is what Lord Krishna said. This is the third episode. We'll go to the fourth episode. This fourth episode is a history. It's a historical event that has actually happened in India. In the 1930s, there was a doctor called Dr. Paul in Bombay. He was the most celebrated brain surgeon. In those days, brain surgery was a very, very complicated thing. It was not available in every hospital. There were not many surgeons. There were not many experts. But he was one of the greatest experts of brain surgery. And he has conducted more than 500 brain surgeries. To honor him, Government of India decided that he should be given a great award. So he was invited for a function in Pune. He has to drive down from Bombay to Pune. Rather, he has to go from Bombay to Pune. He was not very keen, but then all the people told he should not miss it. Not that it is going to add any feather to his cap, but this profession, this specialty has to be recognized, and that will be a great thing for the future generation. So he agreed. They booked the ticket to travel from Bombay to Pune by flight, and he drove down to the airport and he was waiting for the aircraft. Unfortunately, the aircraft developed a snag, technical snag, and the flight was cancelled. So he called up the organizers in Pune and told him, this is what has happened. So I won't be able to make it. The people there told, no, you have to come, sir, because the all the dignitaries here are very keen to see you. In fact, more than anybody else in the function, they want to see you, not even the chief guest. They are looking forward to your receiving the award and to listen to your lecture. So please don't disappoint. So time is there. You can come by your car. You can make it. Even if it is somewhat delayed, we will delay the program. You have to come. Without being able to say no, he decided to drive down. We all know currently the distance can be traveled in about 2 hours, but in those days it takes about 4 to 5 hours. He took the car and he was halfway through. Suddenly, it started raining very badly. In Hindi, they call it as Andi. That is, it is like a swirling wind. So he did not know what to do, and there was a very, very, very heavy traffic. The people who are coming in the opposite direction told him that there is a big tree fall and there is a problem on the road, so they cannot proceed any further. So they suggested you go back. So again, he went to the nearest place and informed them that he is not in a position to come. This is the problem. The person there asked him, at which location you are? He told, this is the location. He said, you don't worry. You just go back 1 kilometer, and after that, there is a left turn you take. That is a bypass road. In today's terminology, bypass road. In those days, it is a feeder road. In that feeder road, you can come to a long distance, and then you can join the main road again. Sir, you don't miss it. This is our sincere appeal. So he thought that I should try because these people are asking so much. So he took that detour route and he was traveling in that road. He would have traveled about 45 minutes. As he would have traveled 45 minutes, suddenly in a place, his car stopped. His car stopped. Nobody knew why it stopped. He himself did not know why it has got stopped. And it was raining. So, with absolute shock, he said, "What is happening today?" He was looking around for some help as to get a mechanic. Then he found there is one isolated house in about 200 meters. So he walked down to that house and knocked the door. One lady came out and he told her his problem. She said, "It is raining very heavily. You please be seated in that veranda of ours. My husband will come very soon. It is already his time to return from work. As soon as he comes, he will go and get a mechanic. You don't worry, please be seated." As she was saying this, there was a child cry from the house, and she will go in, and then after a few seconds, she will come out. And she asked, "You are completely drenched. I will give you a towel. You make yourself comfortable." She gave the towel. As she was giving the towel, again the child cried. She went in and came out. He said that it is very chill and you are drenched. I will give you a cup of coffee. You want a coffee or a tea? He said, "I don't want." She said, "No, you have to take something." So he said, "Okay, give me a cup of tea." So she offered the tea. As she was giving the tea, again the child cried. And she went in and again picked up the glasses. And then she said, "Can you wait for 2 minutes?" Well, he was waiting for 2 minutes. And after 2 minutes, she came. And then the time was clicking. It was around 5 o'clock in the evening. She said that my husband will come anytime, you don't worry. Please give me 5 minutes time. I have to complete one work. I have to. So he said, okay. She went in and came back after 5 minutes. And then without being able to control his curiosity, the doctor asked that off and on you are going inside and coming. The child is crying. And then now you took 5 minutes to go in and do something and come out. You are so warm to even an unknown strange person. What is exactly the problem? Or is there any problem? Or why is it happening like this? Why the child is crying? She said that my child is having a health problem. That is why my son is crying. So whenever he cries, I have to go and attend. I attended. And every 3 hours, I'll do a prayer for him. Now, the last time when I went in, it was for a prayer. He asked prayer for what? Prayer for curing him. Dr. Paul was an atheist. He got simply irritated. He said, "How stupid these people can be. The child is unwell, and instead of looking at it scientifically, they are saying that they are praying. What is that the prayer can do?" He said that, "What are you doing? Instead of going to a doctor, why are you doing this?" She said, "No, we have consulted all the doctors." "Okay, then what is the issue?" She said that my child has been diagnosed with some rare disease and they have given some medicine. We have to consult a specialist doctor and we are waiting for that. She said, "Why are you waiting? Why don't you go?" She said that we have to travel a long distance to go and meet him, and definitely for the kind of ailment he has, we may have to spend some money. We are also trying to save that money. Dr. Paul was a very rich person. He said, "You don't worry about money. I will give you money. You tell me which doctor you want to meet. What is the problem?" She said, "My son has been diagnosed with a tumor in the brain, and for that, I have been asked to meet one doctor in Bombay." So Dr. Paul said, "Okay, you come. Once my car is repaired, in any case, I cannot go to Pune. You come with your husband along with me. I will take you and go and meet the doctor." That lady said, "Yeah, that is great of you, but then we don't know whether the doctor is available on that day there, and whether we have to take appointment and all. Those things we don't know." He said, "Whoever be the doctor, when I say they will listen to it, don't worry, you come." So he said, "Then fine, you tell me the name of the doctor so that I will be ready to take you to there." She said, "His name is Dr. Paul." As she was uttering this word, the child cried. She went inside to soothe the child. Dr. Paul was crestfallen. Again, he waited for her to come out, and he said, "What is the name you said of the doctor?" She said, "Dr. Paul." Dr. Paul started crying. She asked, "Why are you crying?" She said, "A little while ago you made one statement. Do you recall?" She said that, "I have been speaking to you quite a few things. I don't know which statement you are referring to. You said one statement that when I asked you, when he is unwell, why are you doing a prayer instead of going to the doctor? You answered by saying that my God will come here to save him. Did you not make the statement?" She said, "Yes, I made the statement because I know it and I trust it." Dr. Paul again could not control his emotions. Finally, he had to tell her, "I am that Dr. Paul." That lady fell at his feet and she could not control her emotions. She told, "Sir, Doctor Sir, I told you, my God will come to save my son." Now, Dr. Paul started recounting all the events of the day. He was supposed to have gone by flight to Pune. The flight got cancelled because of a technical snag, and then unwillingly he came by road. The road got obstructed. Unwillingly he came by a detour route, and quite surprisingly his car developed a snag, and accidentally he came to this house, and surprisingly he met this lady. And what a great Leela God has done. Maybe God is there. God is there to save people who trust him. That atheist doctor, that moment became the greatest believer in God. Now, these 4 episodes convey to us some fundamental truths. If you take Gajendra, his belief in God was there, but it was conditional. It was not 100%. If you take the case of Draupadi, it is also similar. They both of them tried to protect themselves to the extent they can, and only when they failed, they called for help from the Almighty. Almost all of us fall into that category. That is why, whenever any problem comes, we have half faith. We have faith, but not 100%. Therefore, the God Himself believes that okay, he is trying, let him try. We are there in any case to support him. but he is trying. But if you look at the other two, Prahalada and this Dr. Paul story, it was an unconditional belief and trust. So the God has to come on his own to save them. Nobody needs to call for it. God has to come. In Prahalada's case, God was tends to save him. In Dr. Paul's case, God arranged everything that Paul goes there. So God is there and he will come to save you definitely without any doubt. What is required is Shraddha and Saburi. You have to have a complete faith and trust, and you should not swerve from the belief. It is not a statement of saying I am believing, but you should strictly, from every cell of your body, should trust and believe in God. You know one thing, it may be a surprising news to many people. The world's strongest country, strongest economy is America, United States of America. Its currency, which is the strongest currency in the world, is called the dollar. In the dollar, what is the motto they have written, And what is the motto of United States of America, In God we trust. They say, in God we trust. America is the most secular democratic country in the world, and they declare, in God we trust. Let us learn lesson from these 4 episodes and from United States. Let us trust in God. He is there to be with us. If we think God is a person, there is an issue. Because how will he come, how much he will travel, how long will he take to travel, all those problems. If we understand God is an energy, which I have been telling repeatedly, that energy is there everywhere, in you, around you. So in a matter of second, it can manifest. Therefore, the God, which is an energy, which is a field, can manifest any time. It is up to us to make it manifest. So, God, who is present everywhere, if you believe in Him, He will come and save you for sure. Om Namo Narayana.